Welcome to episode 10 of Creativity from Within podcast. I am Roxanne Catherine, your host and librarian. Today's guest would be Dr. Joanne Kilgour Dowdy, Professor Emerita from Kent State University, Kent, Ohio. Today we're going to talk about all of Joanne's accomplishments as a professor. We're also going to talk about her Dance Scholarship Foundation, and we're going to wrap it up by I would ask her to explain the joy of finishing what you started in terms of creativity and celebrating what you've made. Hi, Joanne. Welcome to the podcast. It's amazing to see you and to talk about all these wonderful things that you have going on.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm so happy to be here and be in your company.
And I'm happy to have you in my company. I am honored. I really am. So tell us a little bit about your latest book.
Yes.
I think this is number 19.
Granny Tales.
Yeah, Granny
This is number
Tales.
19 in the long line.
Okay.
So up until I did the children's book about my dad, Lennox Kilgour, I did Olympic hero, Lennox Kilgour's story. And this is my second quote unquote creative production.
Okay.
Although I believe all writing is creative, you really cannot get across any information unless you tell it in a creative way. But I was inspired over 2024. I moved 4 times. I evacuated 3 times because of hurricanes. And always I heard my grandma and my elders on my shoulders whispering sage advice, quotes, sayings that I grew up hearing to help me get over the speed bumps. Wrote 80 short pieces inspired by sayings from my elders. And that is Granny Tales. That is the new production.
I love it. I love it. So have you started the book tour?
I started reading at Largo Public Library in Florida.
Okay.
They invited me. And then in February, I read there again. And from there, I've been reading on the phone, on Zoom, in person. I read to people in Germany and Canada, in Dakar, Senegal, in England, in Trinidad, in Barbados, states in the United States of America. And here I am talking to you in New York.
Right?
I'm in Florida. Isn't that wonderful?
It's beautiful.
I love it. Yes, my dentist just got her book, and she's pushing to get me on Amazon. I said that's not going to happen.
Okay, tell me why that's not going to happen.
Number one, this project is about intimacy.
Okay.
I think that the COVID pandemic deprived us of intimacy.
Yeah.
I want to see who I'm talking to, like I'm talking to you. I want to read to people and hear their stories. So it's not about width, which is TikTok and all the social media. It's about depth.
I agree.
It's me being in contact and collaborating with people on this event called Sharing a Story.
I love it.
So my stories are a prompt.
Yeah.
And then it got going. I just read to a group at a church. Most of the members are in line dancing with me.
Yeah.
The oldest member is 84.
Oh, wow.
And they had lots of stories about what their parents said, what their grandparents said, what they still repeat, what they catch themselves repeating. They can't believe it came out of their mouth. Yes, because you heard it over and over growing up. Now it makes sense to you. And it's always, I call the stories a bucket that I lower into a well of experience.
Oh, I love that.
I never know what it will pull up. It's amazing what people remember, how people feel about those early years and since. And I feel my next book is going to be sayings my friends taught me. I have heard sayings I never heard in my life. And hearing people talk about the use of these sayings, it's just so enriching. I'm very blessed.
You are, and that's beautiful. And sharing is
so
caring.
I'm hoping we reach every country in the world, and people join in and have these conversations. And, I've been reading to a friend who has long COVID. So her life has been severely restricted
Yeah.
for several years. She has chronic fatigue. So if she
Oh,
walks from her front door to the car, she is wasted for a week.
that's
She has to
horrible.
recover from that exertion. So I read to her every Friday for several months, and we had an hour-long conversation every week. She was a librarian, so she would talk about the authors that the story brought to mind. She would share her life experience. She would ask really deep questions about the characters. What was the motivation? What was the
Yeah.
context? Oh my God, I told her I felt I was in class with a professor every week. And I had
Yeah.
to come with my top goods, because it was going to be an in-depth conversation, no fluff, all stuff.
Wow.
So in the front of the book, I have dedicated to her and to the elders my thanks for their support on this journey.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And how do you do your marketing? Let's say there's somebody watching that wants to not go on Amazon and they
Okay, so
kind of,
you write
yeah.
to me at my Kent University address, Kilgour at Kent, and I can put that in the chat because I actually know how to do that. And send me a name and address, and we'll be in touch. And hopefully, I'll have a conversation with you. I've been putting books in the mail, and what's lovely, my friend who was a former student is now teaching in the United Arab Emirates.
Oh, wow.
And she has bought books because she teaches translation. So she's going to use the book in her translation courses. So they'll go from English to Arabic.
That's
And I
beautiful.
think that's the best signal of the reach of the stories and how our ancestors promote this community. When I talk about you cannot squeeze blood out of stone, I've been hearing a lot, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. I
Yeah.
said, well, it's worse than a turnip. Can you imagine how immovable somebody is that you cannot get anything different out of them?
Yes, I
And so
can.
there's a story called Stone is Stone, and it's inspired by my grandma, who she would jump on a bike and go run her errands at 70 because she was sick of waiting on her children to come get her and take her where she wanted to go. So you can see yourself, Roxanne, in 3 years, you'll get up and get going.
Well,
Because now 70 is 60, right? They've been
yeah,
telling me for at least 20 years.
it is. And I don't depend on anybody. I do everything myself.
So you'll be on your motorbike going down
I
the
do
road.
everything myself. I don't, yeah. So,
You'd better,
so I'm
or you'd
good.
be, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And to segue, from what I remember, were you once a dancer?
Oh, I started off as a dancer.
Right.
My great dream was to leave Trinidad and dance first with the Jamaican National Dance Company, and then to go to New York and join the Juilliard School. Well, it turned out I met a teacher when I was probably 19,
Okay.
who had a lot of experience in Europe, and she discouraged me from pursuing dance. So I was fortunate. I switched to drama. I was already in an acting workshop that
Okay.
did television productions. And so Derek Walcott gave me a scholarship to first Boston Conservatory, and then he prepared me for my audition to Juilliard. So I went on to Juilliard in New York and did my degree there.
Okay.
Yep.
And
So I have two guns in my in my ammunition.
which you need to. Diversity minimizes risk. So
Oh, I love that.
I read it
love
somewhere.
that.
It's not my quote, people, so don't come after me. But I saw it somewhere, and I believe in that. You have to diversify. And I know
Absolutely.
that you also have a foundation, KAK, where you give scholarships.
Yes.
Can you tell us a
So
little
that's my
bit?
mother's initials,
Okay.
Kathleen Armstrong Kilgour. And for 15 years, I have encouraged, coaxed, demanded, threatened people to donate to a dance scholarship that is given to a promising student in Trinidad who attends the Caribbean School of Dancing.
Okay.
And in the last 3 years, we have attracted the attention of Goth Fagan Dance. They helped create The Lion King.
Oh,
And
wow.
they gave one of our students a scholarship for their summer workshops. So this year was the third year we had a student go to that workshop. And I was fortunate to be invited to teach at the workshop. So I met the student who came from Trinidad, and I'm very proud of her. Her dancing just blossomed over those 2 weeks. So by the time we saw the demonstration at the end of the third week, it was a new person. I was so happy because I want students to go back to Trinidad and shake up the dance company. Just being away, just going away makes a difference because everyone looks at you differently, right? And then you bring back this exposure, this experience, and you've obviously changed. And it just makes a huge difference in the company and the young people. So we want to keep doing that. We hope we continue attracting Natalie Rogers Cropper, who is a graduate of the Caribbean School of Dancing and Garth Fagan's muse for at least 15 or 20 years. Now she is managing director of the company. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that she keeps supporting us. We're very proud of that connection.
That's beautiful. And the other books that you have, I know that they're like, I've ordered a few when I was in my librarian days for the library where I worked.
Thank
And
you.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I think I ordered most of them, but
I'm so glad.
how do you continuously promote those? Because I think it's very important for people to have
Well,
access.
when people go to the website, and
Yeah.
I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah.
So joekdowdy.com.
Yeah.
And it has pictures of all 18 books. We haven't added this 19th book yet.
Okay.
It also has an animated film based on the book Olympic Hero,
Oh, beautiful.
Leonard Kilgour stories. So even before you order it from Caribbean Studies Press, you can look at the animated film. And what I love best about the animated film is that it was a collaboration between me, a former student who had just graduated. He teaches art in a grade school, maybe a middle school now, and another colleague who teaches film at a college. And together we created this animated film. So it represents everything I want to represent: collaboration, Trinidad, America, promoting, striving, struggling to succeed. Because my father and his cohorts, there were two people who won Olympic medals in the beginning of Trinidad sports history. My father was one of the two. They worked out with pieces of train track. They filled buckets with cement to make the weights that they worked with. So it's a story about overcoming odds, confidence, and people supporting you. It shows how his community supported him and encouraged him to be the best he could be. So for children, it's so ideal. And I think I've used it with adult literacy classes. The idea that you can overcome. You can overcome, and it's not a lonely journey. It's a community journey. So I'm very happy about that production.
And I love that you inspire so many people, you build community, and you give back, and that's important. And let's say to somebody watching now, I would say a senior, because I feel like a lot of seniors, some that I've spoken to, struggle with finding, if you want to say, finding themselves once they retire, and being afraid of kind of putting themselves out there, because sometimes there's a stigma that after a certain age you just have to like go in a corner and sit, and you can't.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
We don't come from that.
We don't. But
it's not our culture.
It's not in our DNA. So how would you tell people from a different culture that at,
Yes.
let's say, 60 and above and over, that it's
Well, 60 is
okay.
just getting started.
But
Oh my
some
gosh.
people don't think
You have
that,
only
right?
been doing the push-ups until 60.
Right.
Now you got to run the race,
Some people
right?
don't know
So
that. So what
a
would you say
colleague
to
told
somebody?
me, yeah, a colleague told me long before I retired that she wasn't retired, she was rewired.
I love
And
that.
that got in my head very early, 10 years before I retired.
Yeah.
And my oldest aunt, she probably was in her 60s then, which seemed old to me, but it was not.
Right.
She said, don't wait till you're so tired and cynical and discouraged about living. Get out when you have energy, when you have enthusiasm, when you're making your mark on the next chapter in your life. And that also stayed in my head.
Yeah.
Now, as a writer, there's no end. You know, I could be crippled and can't talk. I can still
You
get
can still,
somebody to
yeah.
get my ideas on paper, right? So I have said in another interview done in 23 for 50 plus is the program in Trinidad, comes out of Trinidad, but all of you beam all over the world now.
Right.
Reflect on what was your passion in your very early years. There's something that really got you going, whether it was sewing, it was sitting with old people and being company, or taking people to different places in the country. One of my rewired friends did a whole certificate in being one of the tour guides in Trinidad. So now she drives all over the island showing people all these fabulous places I didn't know growing up. She
Yeah.
took me on some of these tours. Well, this is a second life. This is not the corporate life that she had up till then. Another friend, she was actually my supervisor when I just came out of high school. She retired and said she was interested in painting. So she started taking classes. Now she is revered as one of the premier artists of old homes in Trinidad. All those places they're knocking down,
Right.
she has gone and made herself familiar, taking pictures, and I have commissioned paintings of sites in Trinidad that have since disappeared since she did the painting. So all we have is a painting
Yeah.
of these places because they put up concrete
I
buildings in a
know.
snap. You know, you go to visit in August, if you go back the next July, it's not there. It's
Yeah.
disappeared. And that's not only in Trinidad, right here in the neighborhood where I am. I'm only here 3 years.
Okay.
Every street has a new concrete building in place of the nice wooden cottage that was here for more than 50 years. People would come and visit in their holidays, come down to Florida from the north.
Yeah.
Every day, houses is disappearing right around me, right around me. I joked yesterday with a neighbor, I may have to call someone to take me home one day when I go walking because I don't know where I am.
Yeah. It's like,
Nothing
what?
looks familiar. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. Before even Alzheimer's takes over, I'll be lost and going round and round and round. Can't find the street because the houses are changing minute by minute. So I say, go back to your first love. What was your first love? Icing cakes, making doll dresses,
Exactly.
going on long walks into very interesting parks. Go back there. Go back, reconnect, because you had to put it aside to raise
Yeah.
the children, to do the 9 to 5, you know, to get Granny organized before she went into assisted living. And all of that takes energy and time. And okay, you did your gig. Now exhale. What is that still small voice waiting for you to pay attention? And it'll surface. Just give it time. Give it time.
That's
Yeah. I hope
wonderful.
that helps whoever's out there. Whoever's out there. There's something waiting to be nurtured.
There is. And another point that I see in mostly all of the podcasts is that when you do have the idea and that little voice is there, you don't need to get approval from everybody that would listen. You just have to sit quietly, listen to that voice, and kind of push yourself if you need to push yourself to do what you
Absolutely.
need to do, and everything else will just
Yes.
follow.
Yes,
It's
yes. And
important.
somebody may be waiting to follow you, which
Yeah,
you've never thought.
you
Absolutely.
never did. Like for me, I was a late bloomer, you know.
Mm.
I got my master's degree at age 50, and this is something a lot
You
of
got
people,
it.
I got it,
You
right?
got it.
This is something a lot of people don't know. So my point is, it's never too late. It's never
No, it's
too
not.
late to just get up and do what you need to do and take
Yeah.
action. A lot of people, they have the dream and they have the idea, but they don't take the action. And it might sound like, oh my gosh, take action. That's so hard. It really isn't. It
Mm-mm.
starts with one conversation, one podcast, for
Yes.
somebody to just get inspired.
Yes. And professors will tell you, teachers will tell you,
Yeah.
the best students are the mature students.
Yes.
They jumped all the hurdles. They're not distracted by the boyfriend and the baby mama
Yeah.
drama and the figuring out how to be fashionable on a limited income. They're there on business.
Yeah.
And it's a pure joy to be on the journey and see them just blossom. So my best friend is 100, and
Oh,
she went
wow.
back and finished her first degree when she was almost 60, going on 70. She finished it. It was
That's
her life's
beautiful.
dream to have that degree in her hand.
Yeah.
She raised three boys. She was the best musician's, professional musician's wife anyone could ever hope to have. She saw everybody get what they wanted to get. And
Mm-hmm.
then, thank the Lord, she said, my turn. Yes.
Exactly.
Wonderful visual artist.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
That's nice. And what would you say, like, can you tell the audience a little bit about the joy of finishing? Like,
Ah, oh, it's the only goal. Thank you for asking
you're
that. People
welcome.
think you want to see your name in the book and you want to be interviewed by Roxanne Mapp and you want to go and do readings. And no, no,
No.
no. No, the goal is to check it off the list.
Exactly.
Some books took me 5 years from the imagining of it to actually seeing it in my hand. And that is constant discipline to keep after, do the next thing, do the next thing, do the next. I wasn't supposed to publish this book, Granny
Mm-hmm.
Tales.
Okay.
The publisher I wanted to do it had already published my children's book, Olympic Hero, in 3 languages:
Mm-hmm.
English, Spanish, Haitian, Creole. I wanted them to publish Granny Tales, and they didn't want to. So then I went to another publisher and I said, I need help, and I want somebody who does page format because that's a whole technical
Yeah.
skill. And the publisher said, you can do this yourself. Go on such and such a site and follow their steps. They're very detailed in their steps.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this. Well, I went on the site. I'm not a tech person, I'm a writer.
Yeah.
I have to go back to that publisher and ask, do you understand? But I knew if I hired someone, it would get done.
Yeah.
The someone I hired had just been fired from a big company and she was starting her business. She would do page format, she would do layout, she would do this everything. So she got my Word file on Sunday, and on Thursday we had a book
Oh, wow.
to
That's
print.
nice.
Timing and my willingness to say, I need help, and my willingness to say, what's the best thing could happen?
Yeah.
You don't have to print 200 books. That was the attraction of this company. You
Right.
could print one. If you don't like what it looks like, never ever think of doing it again. And here I am on 110.
Wow.
And requests come in because of that dance foundation and the network from 25 years of teaching, and people being very curious about what sayings did you grow up hearing. It's a nice conversation starter.
It's beautiful.
So, um, so finishing. I mean, I never dreamt I would be interviewed about being creative. And then last week I was interviewed about being a businesswoman.
There you
I never
go.
imagined, I thought it was about writing the book. So a door opened, I stepped through, I'm a praying person, so I pray every morning. Thank you for whatever you give me. I'll take care of it. I promise I will not be a bad ward. You can trust me. And we turn up. You know, a student taught me this. A student said one day in class, it must be more than 15 years ago, Dr. Dowdy, you know, more than 50% of the grade is turning up.
That's so
It's
true.
so true.
It's
It's
so
so
true.
true. You can't phone it in. You can't ask someone bring you notes. You
You have to
can't get
do
a
it.
recording and listen. You got to be in the room. Be present. That is more than 50% of the whole experience.
Yeah.
So I apply that to my life. Joanne, turn up.
Good. And I love it. And I'm getting a signal to wrap it up. But I have to
Uh-huh.
ask one question. Can you tell the audience, like for people wanting to contribute or donate to the Dance Foundation, do they
Yes.
just go to your website and
So
everything's there?
so if you go to Metamorphosis Dance Company in Trinidad, I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah.
And they have an arrangement with, I don't want to say the wrong bank. I think it's Royal Bank in Trinidad. You'll
Okay.
see it
Okay.
when you go to
So just
Metamorphosis
go to
Dance Company.
Metamorphosis Dance Company.
And you can directly donate, directly. Put the money in their hands. They do a performance at Queen's Hall every year. They
Okay.
just did one, and they did the Coconut Nutcracker. I saw snips from that
That
production.
sounds really nice. Well, Joanne, thank you so much for being here. It has been an
Thank
honor and a
you.
pleasure. And I hope that
Oh,
we
I'm
could
so thrilled. I have
continue.
goosebumps all over
Oh,
me. I'm so thrilled.
and I hope that we could continue the conversation outside of the podcast. And to all the people
Yes.
looking on, if you're from Trinidad and Tobago living in the United States, please go to Joanne's website and support her wonderful work and foundation. Joanne, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Love you. All the
Love you,
best.
babe.
Take care.
Walk good.
Thank
Walk
you.
good.
You too.
Amen.
Bye bye.